Well, Peter Colesdorff, owner of Pete's Big Gym, the latest of our Harness Jewels invitation has been issued your way. What are your reactions to that news, Peter?
I'm absolutely over the moon. I've been working very hard with Darren Williams, trying to obtain this invitation. I'm very excited about our horse. It's had a very exciting start to a career. It's been raced. It's had 9 starts now. I actually purchased the horse at the Menangle Ready to Run sale. It's the first time I've ever had a horse of my own ownership. I was in a syndicate several years ago in a racer pacer with a horse that Club Menangle actually were offering, and we had success from the very first start. Our horse won the very first race of the New South Wales season, the heat of the Breeders' Plate at Leeton, which was very exciting.
Oh wow, so you've gone from syndication, Peter, and taking smaller shares to leaping into a whole new world in terms of racing a horse in New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we unfortunately we had an accident in the final. We were favourites to win, and we couldn't get around the first turn. The second favourite was on our side, and we just couldn't cross, and that was a bit of a disaster. But after that, we've had some very exciting runs. We had a fantastic run at Menangle on the 24th of February, where we came second in the Sapling Stakes behind probably Australia's #1 horse, College Chapel. We were beaten about 7 metres, and we ran a time of 1:53.1, and College Chapel ran the amazing 1:52.6. So that was very exciting.
Yeah, it was great too. I note that Platinum Revolution was third in that race, and she's going to be representing Australia in the Fillies edition. So Pete's Big Gym, although he might be a horse that not many are familiar with, he's certainly got the credentials.
Yes, well, we've had the 9 starts. We won 5 trials, 3 trials by about 25 metres prior to our first run at Leeton, and we've had a couple of very wide draws, and we've had some very close shows. But every race we seem to be up against the best horses. We've had a very close run-in with Muscle Factory as well, and we had a recent win up at Tamworth, and then we had a very good trial at Newcastle just before last Saturday night, where we were in the Rod Fitzpatrick Memorial Race, and we had a nice run, 1 out, 1 back, and we looked like we leaned up on the turn, and Shooby-Doo was leading, the very good horse from Bathurst, and had a very soft second quarter, and unfortunately we couldn't quite catch that horse, and we finished a very close 4th, and then about a few minutes later, got a text message from Darren that we'd received the invitation, so we're all over the moon. And I was actually at the Directors' Lounge at Menangle, and so all the directors of Menangle got the good news, and they were delighted for me.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it certainly is a great story, Peter, in terms of, you know, the ownership dream to point your horse in the direction of a Harness Jewels invitation, and to have it, you know, come to fruition. I know that you've had plans in place. You've been very keen around this invitation, and can you explain to our listeners just how much it means to you to be coming to Cambridge this year?
Oh, so much history in this race, and I've heard a lot about it over the years. I've watched it on TV many times, and only as a spectator. I've actually been an enthusiast of harness racing since the late 60s, and I've never had a horse until 4 years ago. My wife always said, you can punt as much as you want, but you're never going to feed one. and Rex Horn, who was a director of Club Menangle, was the one that talked my wife into it 4 years ago when I had that racer pacer, which was called Priority Pass.
Right.
And so it's and a lot of the trainers I've spoken to in the district and up at Menangle said they've been racing all their lives, and they've never had a horse good enough to go to a race like the Jewels. So we think we've got a horse that's something out of the box, and if we can get him right on the day and with the right draw, we have to be very competitive. So we're going over there to represent Australia in Club Menangle, and very, very proud of it.
Would it be fair to say that your wife is very keen on you being involved in a horse now that she gets a trip overseas?
She shows a little bit more interest. She's not really a harness person at all, but she's very supportive, and she wants me to enjoy. I'm doing this more as a future retirement matter. I'm only a couple of years away from probably retiring. I've got to run a very big golf business in Canberra in the ACT here.
Yep.
I run a big international golf centre, biggest golf shop in Australia, a driving range, a public golf course, been doing this for about 35 years, so this is my relaxation. It's harness racing, and I just can't wait.
Well, it's very, very great to have you and the team coming with Pete's Big Gym, the latest addition to the Australian assault on the harness jewels. Peter Kohlsdorf, thank you so much for your time, and we cannot wait to see you at Cambridge this year.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for your time, Jess.